I've done it, Lee. Hours and hours of almost pointless grinding. But I managed to get myself this level 50 Doomslayer sword. It is magnificent. It's going to cause some serious damage outside those city walls. I cannot wait to try out. What have you got there? Is that a cheese knife?
No, it's a butter knife. I like crumpets.
What are you going to do? Spread the fuckers to death?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another Old Bite video, and today we're doing yet another review, and today's review victim is a thing by the name of Anthem.
Yes. Bit late to the party, really, because Anthem's been out and had all its controversy out already.
Yeah, we've discussed this before, EA. We want you releasing games in our shooting schedule, you fucks.
Yeah.
Wankers.
No, but we are here to discuss and review Anthem, the latest game. Well, it's actually probably not the latest game anymore, is it? The most recent looter shooter that EA have tried to put out.
Yes, indeed.
Their only one they've tried to put out.
For potentially decent reasons.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, Battlefield was probably like a looter shooter type thing, wasn't it?
Not really.
Kind of. Come
You
on.
got your stuff through leveling, didn't you?
Yeah. Anyway,
Or loot boxes.
we're tangentizing already.
Tangentializing.
That's the one.
Yes, I have words.
But yeah, we're here to discuss Anthem. And I will say straight away that I have completed the game for once.
I have not, because it is shite.
Thanks for the review. See you next week.
Bye.
So we want to go into some detail, but I think we both agree here that this is not a game we can recommend. However, we want to go into a little bit more detail about the game itself and what you can expect if you haven't got around to buying it yet. If you haven't, you probably won't after all the stories you've seen. But yeah, so Lee, what was your first experiences of the game?
It won't remember my fucking resolution.
And then we move on to some more bad stuff. So Anthem's a game where you effectively, if you play games like Destiny, Warframe, they are those kind of looter shooter, jumping into some other kind of suit.
MMO lights.
Yeah, and then grinding the same kind of mission structures to gain loot to then increase your abilities to do that again. So in a nutshell, it sounds really boring, but some games for me, like Warframe, have made that an enjoyable activity. It's not enjoyable here at all.
No, the core of Anthem is obviously you going out into the forests of this alien world that you live on, wearing your javelin mech suit, which sounds good in theory. There are 4 of them, which I very succinctly described to Snare as Iron Man, Hulkbuster, Guyver, and Warframe. They're quite clearly cribbed from other fictional licenses.
Yep.
And the one good thing I have to say, well, maybe not the one, but like the best thing about Anthem is the movement. It gets that very right. You feel like Iron Man flying about the place.
Yeah, but you say that, but I didn't like the landing. Like, for me, when you have a jetpack fueled kind of javelin and you're flying around the place, that looks cool. It's a little bit slow for me. I think it should be a little bit quicker. Just not a huge amount, just a little bit to make you feel like you're actually travelling quickly. It felt quite slow. But when you land, like the only one, well, everyone lands with a thump. And the only one that really should is the Colossus, who's the big mech, huge armoured, like, tank.
Which you're going to be seeing mostly in the footage, because that's what I played.
So I mainly played the Storm Javelin, which is what you refer to as the Warframe.
Yep.
And so they all have their special abilities or increased abilities on other things. You know, you got your armor, you got your damage, you got your movement, you got your special abilities.
And some have shields.
Yeah. So there's different bits and pieces like that. However, you'll spend most of your time probably seeing something like this. Welcome back, and Lee's still looking at the ceiling after that. But what I meant to say and show you, but he doesn't understand the power of editing, is loading screens. I have looked at my stats on this game through EA Origin and also through the game player stats itself. From the Origin stats, I've logged about 30-35 hours playing the game, and the actual playtime in Anthem is about 6. Now I think that must be the actual mission time that I've spent, rather than spending time in the main hub area that you spend the other time in the game but also the loading times are absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, they're fucking awful. If you want to load in the game, it takes ages. You want to load into the hub world, it takes ages. You want to go on missions, menu screens, everything is slow, unresponsive, and takes fucking ages to load.
Fucking unacceptable, EA. You're making BioWare do something. They're probably not completely absolved of responsibility here, but you guys have fucked it up in terms of the experience. I remember getting my mobile phone out and playing a game on that, waiting for the loading screen to finish. Much like our videos, I just wait for them to finish. Get through it, you know? But seriously, it's just a horrible thing to have to put up with in 2019. And we had this with Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yep.
And it takes you out of the fucking game. This should be fucking... It should be the lesson number 2 of any game design. Just to say, are the loading screens shit or not? If they are, then let's fix it.
What's lesson number 1?
Make it fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they forgot that as well.
Yeah, totally. So, for me, like leading up to the launch of Anthem, I wasn't necessarily hyped, as you called me earlier. I was interested to see what they would do with it, because it looked like they were taking bits from everywhere. It looked like what could they bring to the table in this genre of game. Let's face it, the main players, you've got Destiny and Warframe, and they've all gone through their periods of growth, change, and improvements. And as much as I don't like Destiny anymore, I can see how they've tried to improve it. Destiny 2 fell on its arse, but Destiny 1 had got to a point that people were really enjoying it. Here in Anthem, I don't think they've got that luxury. It's from EA. They are the biggest version of this.
They are the corporate overmasters of the world, and nobody likes them.
Yes, they are. They are a bunch of wankers in terms of what they have been doing recently, in business terms. But you expect a company like this to go, look, let's spend time seeing what everyone likes about these games and make something that people want, that we can monetize or whatever. I don't really care. That's the bit we'll get onto in a minute. But they just haven't done it. They just haven't done it.
No, it's not fun. Basically, you've got 3 types of things you'll be doing. You'll be activating something and standing in a bubble until it completes whatever the fuck it's doing. You'll be shooting at these things that are piling out of these giant glowing holes in the air that you can't stop and just have to kill them all. Or you'll be shooting at these things popping out of these sort of monster holes on the floor, which you can destroy. And that's kind of it. And then you get like a big one and then have to shoot that.
And that brings me on to a massive bug I've experienced on many occasions. So the mission structure that you actually get, there's a number of different things you can do. You can do your main quest mission, side mission, strongholds, free play, which is in an open area where things just kind of happen and you can collect resources. Yeah. Also contains a horrible grindy mission. And also the last mission type is a quick play, which you jump into somebody else's mission and you help out. So I don't know if this is or isn't a thing, but I would advise probably not doing too much quick play until you've completed the story, in case you may get brought into a mission you haven't played yet. I don't know if there's a restriction on that.
No idea. I didn't really bother with that.
And you don't care?
No.
But when I had so many, I'm talking like 10 times plus, I still didn't learn my lesson. Jumping into a quick play into a mission that is just fundamentally broken. So you would jump in, the big boss battle type end point of the mission itself, a larger enemy. You jump in, and the enemy's not there, so the mission is stuck, and it's telling you to defeat something that's not there, and it's constantly cycling in players because they're bringing them in for quick play to a mission that's just not working. And so you jump in, you've loaded in, you spent your time waiting for the fucking loading screen. You've spent your time getting into the place and probably travelling to the place where it's ending, and then you have to abort and get nothing out of it, and it doesn't count as a quick play mission completed.
So in theory, it would be possible for you to be in a mission like that, go, "Ooh, this is broken," come out, go back into a quick play mission, and be put in the same one.
Potentially, yes. And when you actually come back into, because sometimes it gets stuck and you can't get out because the loading screen sticks, you have to cancel out your game. You log back in. It says, "Do you want to join your old squad?" Why would I want to do that? Because it's broken. So when you're playing the game, what I think is happening is that you're killing the enemy too quickly for the game to realise. So it gives you the spiel and says, kill the enemy. You kill the enemy, because there's 4 of you all unloading your ultimate abilities with huge amounts of power and damage
And combos.
and bish by bosh, enemy's dead, and it's still talking through what you've got to do with the enemy. And by that point, it goes, right, now kill the enemy. And you're like, well, excuse me, I've already done it. That's already happened. And the game, that's just me ranting now. I can't believe you've got a broken mission and haven't fixed it.
To be fair, I kind of felt the review would be going the other way in the fact that I would be the one screaming.
No.
Apparently
Fuck
not.
you, EA.
I had limited amounts of fun with it. I think it would have worked better for me if it was like a 12 to 15 hour experience.
Not for 60 quid though.
Well, I'd pay 60 quid for other stuff that lasts that long and have a perfectly good time. I think it's more...
And her name is Crystal.
It's Sherry, fuck off. But I think the problem is where it's this live service mentality that they all have nowadays. They're just dragging everything on. I mean, you go through, you get another weapon. Oh, it's a new weapon. It looks exactly the same as my other weapon. It's just got a different number on the end of it. Wonderful. Thank you for that. I will have that. Oh, no, it's the 3-shot burst one. I prefer the fully automatic one, so I'm going to use the one that's less powerful. Or, you know, it gives you open up another slot for another javelin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the javelins don't just have weapons. They have, like, these internal bits that you pop in and gives you buffs. But it only seems to drop for the javelin you're using primarily. I think I had one instance where it dropped it for another one. I was like...
That's true, actually, yeah.
So it gives you another javelin. You're like, hey, I'll try this one. That might mix up the gameplay a bit. And then you come out and you're underpowered as fucked and get creamed.
And let's be honest, there are those people doing have done some research on like single starter level guns that are just way overpowered compared to the like top end stuff.
Yeah, it does look like the game's scaling to the power level of your gun.
And did you actually pre-order and get the legendary marksman rifle and stuff?
Yeah, but I don't like using marksman rifles, so I can't just left it
Yeah,
alone.
but what I'm going to point out about that is that gun is severely overpowered for a starting gameplay thing. You do not have any... You don't get to learn the mechanics because you've instantly got something that's fucking yellow and epic.
Boom, headshot.
Yeah, it's ridiculously powerful for that starter level. So by the time you need something to upgrade, you don't know what you're looking at because everything you're picking up is shit. And then you get something that's slightly better. You're like, well, why is it better? What? So I will say the menus in this game suck proverbial ass.
They do.
You even have a fucking loading screen to go into your menu of your forge where you can dismantle things and sort out what modules you want to put onto your character. The design of how you do cosmetics is fucked, although I did actually like the different textures that you could put on, so metals and rubber and things.
Yeah, like cloth, which I'm not sure would be wise.
No. But there's you might want a cloth like underlying bit between two bits of...
Yeah, give you a nice weak spot there. Yeah.
Maybe. But that was quite nice. It's a thing I don't think we've really seen that much in games. It's not to mind. I can't think of any that would have textures that, you know, actual real looking textures.
I'm certain there was one, but I can't.
I'm not saying there isn't any.
It.
Just can't think of any. But the way that it has like the colour things and the textures on the side, you have to click in a certain place, but it's not clear, and then things will like whoosh about and come in. It's just messy. It doesn't look good. It doesn't act good.
My main problem with the cosmetics thing is like you can switch out parts of the chassis of your javelin. There's no like stat benefits. It just looks different. And I could find 3 different variants, and I'm kind of thinking that's a huge missed opportunity. It'd be cool if it was like dropping parts. And it like, oh look, I've got like a new cosmetic pair of like arms for my Colossus or whatever. But there's 3, and once you've bought the one that looks best, you're not going to buy the one that looks worse. So, it's just a huge missed opportunity. I mean, you can customize those fuckers in hundreds of different ways. It does give you the facility to do that, but there's no part changing. It'd be really good if it'd be so different. I mean, other than changing the colors and the textures and all that bollocks, if you just physically look different from like all the other colossi in the game. Is that the plural? I think it must be the plural.
It's probably either Colossus or Colossuses.
Colossuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a huge missed opportunity, and like I've not found any in the field, so I don't think they actually drops cosmetics either. I think they're purely going to be store
I think I
bought.
may have picked up a couple that were
Really?
like the what do they call them, the decals,
Oh, the decals.
not parts
Not
but
parts.
decals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's. I just really wanted to like this game, but it's boring. I'm not hooked by the story whatsoever. It's this quasi fucking religious anthem of creation bollocks that I'm just like.
Well, let's just explain what that story is related to. So
You better do that because I spaced through most of it.
so fundamentally, there is a you start off the game as a rookie. Once you've got your character together, and you're off on your kind of particular mission, and it's your first time out in a javelin, and you get attacked by these huge fucking ogres, and it's the start of like I wouldn't call it a cataclysm because I think that's what they're coming towards in this longer term roadmap of stuff that they're choosing to do. Yeah, but we have a story in which there's an event which has caused all of these characters to be impacted by it. So the people that are in the javelins are called freelancers, and you have ciphers who are kind of like Cypher in the Matrix, who would be your operator.
So he likes steak.
Yeah, because it's bliss.
Yes.
Yeah. But you have these kind of two-man teams for a javelin and operator kind of thing, and all the ciphers have basically, I think all of them have heard the anthem of creation, which makes them want to go back to it. All those who are affected by it. So you have this evil character called the Monitor. Fucking crap villain name, who is basically tip-top, fucking top of his class in both being a cipher and a freelancer, and he's after stuff to open up and hear the anthem of creation again, and then you're going through your journey of trying to get there before him and stop him becoming uber powerful. It's a real fucking basic story, but it just falls flat because the Monitor isn't a very good villain. The characters themselves are you kind of get to know them, but you don't really care because it's so, like you said, quasi-religious out there. It doesn't really hit home. There's no reason to care about these people. So the story itself is kind of mediocre at best, and the end game fight like mission is fucking shit. It's so basic that it's exactly the same as you get in the rest of the game. You go to a point, you fight some enemies. You go to a point, you fight some enemies. You go to the big boss, you fight the boss. He's dead. Okay, that was good. And that's now a stronghold mission.
You do realise that you're not allowed to say basic anymore unless you say it in an Irish accent, a la Conor McGregor.
Go on then.
You're just fucking basic.
It is fucking basic. So that was my impression of an Irish accent. Please don't be offended.
I'm part Irish. I get away with it.
I'm not. So, the actual story-wise, one thing that I will say was good, and I think they should probably take this away and do it better in a different game, is the facial animations on the main characters. Some look a bit weird, but some are fucking spot on. I really enjoyed the visuals of the facial movements while they're talking. It was absolutely fabulous in places.
Yeah, I think the main problem is it's like this high level concept they've got going on, and you just can't identify with it. It's not like, oh well, we're struggling to get food, or we need power, like certain other looter shooters that have come out recently where that is a priority and done much better. It's like, oh well, there's this thing over there, and it's putting this thing. You've got this big monster dude, and he wants to do this, and oh well, we'll go get this javelin suit. No, you're not having that, son. We're gonna pinch that off you because it looked cool. And you just like, I don't fucking care.
No, I don't care. I mean, for me, this game reeks of I want that too, says EA. That Destiny have worked hard, or Bungie, sorry, have worked hard to make Destiny a game people liked. Destiny 2 has its problems, but there's still people that like it, and more fun to you guys for liking it. Warframe has a massive community of people that love it, and would consider that actually a live fucking service, but it's not.
Well, I think Destiny had sort of the Sims problem, in the fact that you spend years putting all this extra content into the game. You know, so they had vampires and cars and open worlds and shit like that. And the next game they took it all away and started again.
Yeah. I think Anthem is just, it's trying to be an amalgam of everything, but in the end it results in a game that doesn't become anything at all. It wants to, it's not even something. It's taking more, I would say it's leaning to more towards the Destiny model than it would be the Warframe model, but it's still trying to take the Warframe kind of whole movement is fun element into that, and I just think it falls flat because it doesn't know what it's supposed to be. Now, we read earlier about the original story for Anthem that was leaked a couple of days ago, so this is actually quite nice timing to bring it into the review, but apparently it was colony ships crash landing on what they were dubbing the Bermuda Triangle of space and planets, where weird stuff was going on, and it was about colonizing this area using what you landed with. The javelins were spacesuits that were modified for combat, and you had the other human kind of clans or whatever would be attacking with against you, and also the aliens defending their kingdoms. And that sounds cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounded much more like you would be building up your settlement, and it wouldn't be this pre-packaged thing which looks like a weird amalgam of things they've cobbled together and things that have been purpose built.
Nope. Yep.
And it sounded like you become attached to it. So you build up a bar, and then you'd have people populate the bar you could speak with, and then you go on missions and you'd find like more materials, and you'd be able to craft your own javelins and stuff like that. Now that sounds fucking brilliant. But you didn't do that. No. But perhaps because the main story thread was very similar to Andromeda, and we all know how that turned out.
And let's be honest, we've been sold for $60 access to a fucking game. The content is lacking severely in this game. It is not worth the money. You have this roadmap of stuff, so the actual big end game boss battle is not even in the fucking game yet. It's season 3 of this Act 1. I don't give a shit. Look, this is a game. You've made a game and give us the content. Stop doing this. It makes everyone, because by the time that fucking comes out, both of the players will like it. There'll be nobody left.
Much like For Honor.
I mean, yeah, you get people that will come back to see what it is, go away, come back to see what it is, go away. But I can be guaranteeing this point that it will not be a quick fix. You'll have to be doing it days and days and weeks and weeks and days to grind out and be strong enough to fight that end game. And they're expecting that of you.
Yeah, I kind of want to drill down a little bit into the combat itself.
Yeah, I've just ranted about the game.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Oh. So the combat is very messy, very frantic. Not in a good way. It's very confusing. Generally, you're getting mobbed from all sides. It's very difficult to find cover.
AI is stupid.
AI is stupid. It's just really confusing because you've got so much going on around you. You sort of are indecisive about where you should go first because they're all doing like, there's no A1 threat normally. There's always just like these whole like
Cloud.
squishy mob cloud around you, and you're like,
And what makes it even worse when you start out is that I was playing this game probably the first or second day after launch, the final launch. We'll maybe get into that another time. But and I was playing with people that were top fucking rank already, that were running through the mission and doing. And you don't have an option to play this game really on your own. You're pushed to do it like, with other
is
people.
a privacy mode that you can set up.
There is, but they continually tell you to turn it off.
Yeah, you can't do like free roam.
Yeah, that's just not allowed.
No, you can't do it by yourself.
It's just irritating. But that point, if you don't learn the game, you don't get a chance to experience the game or work out your best tactics, because you've got 3 other fuckers that are level 30 that are just screaming through the game and destroying all the enemies with their single shots or whatever. And you're like, well, where do we go now? Oh, there's a marker. Go to the marker. The marker's disappeared because they've already done it. Sorry, I'm ranting again.
Well, the markers are a problem in and of itself because you'll get text or spoken dialogue telling you, oh, you need to go to here now. And you're like, where? And then like 5 seconds later, it's like, bing. Oh, over there. Thanks.
Fucking, that's just inexcusable. Come on, guys. You're fucking it up.
To be fair, I don't know how much this is unexpected because you've got EA doing their EA thing where they're forcing a studio that's famous for doing one type of game to do a type of game they've never done before. And
in
then,
an engine that they're not used to using, right?
yeah. So basically, I mean, this is what EA does. It says, okay, you go make this game. And they're like, but we don't make those sort of games. And it's like, you go make that game. And it better be good. Off they go make the game. It's not good. They come back and say, well, you didn't make us enough money, so we're closing you fucking down.
Bye-bye. So,
I mean, that's what happened to Visceral.
Yep.
And it was just, sorry, bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Let's hope they don't do it to BioWare, because despite Anthem and Andromeda, they've released some of my favourite games, and I'd really like to see them return to form. But it looks like Obsidian are going to be the people going forward with doing shit like that, where they're taking essentially Fallout in space, before Fallout in space is a thing, and making that with the outer worlds.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed, and this is the thing. I am really disappointed with Anthem. It is like, I mean, the saying of you can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter. That is this game. I do not recommend this to anyone.
You can polish a turd. Mythbusters did it.
You can polish a turd,
but it's still a turd.
It's like a sausage roll made out of shit. Black Forest Gatto with diarrhea on it.
That was my analogy, the sausage roll.
And it was a good one. That's why I stole it.
That's why you stole it.
But it's just nothing. It's fucking shit.
You should see if you can pick the mic.
Yeah. But I honestly do not recommend this game to anyone. It is going to be a grind. It's not fun. It's boring. It doesn't do what you want a game to do. I mean, I struggled through it for the review, and every time I tried to complete some missions and it was just worth aborting because it had broken, I was like, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
I probably, once I got past sort of the loading screens and the fact that it wouldn't remember my fucking resolution every time I went into the damn thing.
I didn't have that problem though.
I did, yeah. I kept logging into like the main screen where it's got like the little Anthem up there, a javelin, and I'm like, that doesn't look like it's at 1440. Now I go into the menu and I'll be like, because it's fucking not. Thanks for that game. And every time, and then it's like, oh, you've changed this, you need to restart the game. I'm like, oh, restart the game, come back in. Yep, that's not 1440 again either. That doesn't appear to be happening now, so I will say they have patched that out. But I mean, I had fun for like 4 or 5 hours, I think, maybe.
No, I'll give it that. I was intrigued at the start, but it became very, very laborious.
Yeah, but once I realised sort of this is all it is, I'm going to have the same weapons, they're just going to be doing different numbers. That's kind of like when I was like, okay, I'm bored now. Let's go see about customizing. I spent the customization that it does have, like you said, with the colors and the materials is quite good, but there's just not enough parts. I think I found 3 different sets of parts for my Colossus.
Yeah.
I picked the one I liked, put it on. I'm like, oh, okay, that's quite cool, you know. And then I'm like, so I'm done then. And then you go to the store, and the store is its own big pile of shit because there's no way you can search the store. You might want to say, oh, I want to buy some new legs or something like that for my javelin. It's like it only has a featured section, so if it's not in the featured section, you can't buy it.
Everyone was worrying about the cost of cosmetic stuff and whatever. I have not spent any money in this game because I think I've got like 90,000 coins or something, and so I could buy something that was there, but I don't want to. I'm not going to be grinding my coins up again to buy something else, just waiting for the right thing to come along.
Well, I think where we pre-ordered,
and that's nicking it from Fortnite, I think.
I mean, where we pre-ordered, I think we got like a stipend to begin with of 40,000 or whatever.
Some coins.
Some coinage, and I was just like, I might as well fucking spend it because I'm probably not going to play this again once we've reviewed it.
I don't see myself. I might pop back and see what the next installment's like as a bit of an update, but I'm not going to spend time on it. I can't. I just don't want to.
I think the only way it comes back is if you get a situation like Warframe had with the Plains of Eidolon. And like people were like tried it initially and they were like, not sure.
You know what? I don't think even that would fix it.
No?
No, the reason Plains of Eidolon worked was because all these veteran players that have been playing for a long time and enjoyed that style of gameplay that was there, they suddenly had this new experience and it was something else. Whereas Anthem is going, I've got nothing, let's give them something. There's going to be nobody coming back
No,
for
but
that.
it was because I went back and tried Warframe again, and then sort of off the back of me and other people going back to it, you went back to it and really became engrossed in it.
Yeah.
And the reason that we did was because of YouTube influencers like Total Biscuit at the time. He put out a very...
Actually, the main reason I started up again was because a friend of mine said, oh, you want to try this? It's amazing.
Yeah, but how did your friend go back to it or find it?
I just started playing it on PlayStation. I don't know how
okay.
he found out about it.
Yeah, because we both, like, we got our PS4s... I think he got his first, but, like, it was around the same time-ish. And obviously, when you get your PS4 and you get, like, a game or two with it, you're always looking on the network for, like, what you can get for free. And Warframe was definitely on there, and we both tried it like that, and we're like,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah.
And then it really sort of, I think, hit the popular zeitgeist when Plains of Ireland did, because you had so many people go, actually, it's a completely different game now, and it's much better.
But look at the difference here. Warframe, free to play, optimized
Yeah.
to buggery. It's so awesomely good and optimized. You can switch the game on and be in a mission within 2 minutes if you really know what you're doing.
But I mean, you say that, but it has happened for paid-for games before, like the First Division.
Yep.
I went back and played it after hearing that it was much improved, and it was improved. It was a much better
again,
game.
the basic play that you had in Division, the problems I think with Division were surrounding loot, surrounding just some of the gameplay modes, and maybe like loss of content or whatever.
Being
and,
dicked over in the dark zone.
Yeah, stuff like that. But the core gameplay was decent, and people enjoyed it. The experience was there. With Anthem, it's just not. You are spending 70% of your time staring at a fucking loading screen or having a conversation with someone you don't care about. This game doesn't work. It never will. They need to scrap it and start off with something else. If they want to do this, if they want to be in that arena,
they're not going to do that.
This game will not have anybody playing it in the next year. There might be some die-hard fans that really love it, but they've never experienced Destiny or Warframe.
They'll throw more money at it, and then essentially they'll, over the next 2 or 3 years, and then it will just quietly go away.
With Bungie being separated now away from Activision Blizzard, they will do something, and whether that's going to be good or bad for the next Destiny part, hopefully they will learn their lessons a lot of places there. And I think people that are into Anthem need to stop playing it and look at Destiny and Warframe as other comparable games. Anthem is not recommended. It's not worth your time. It's purely a moneymaker for EA, and everyone is in agreement. I don't think anybody out there has actually stood there and gone, yeah, buy it. It's a really good game. Nobody said that.
Not that I've heard. I mean, you get the odd dissenting voice in comments, but it's just like, fuck off.
I mean, to me, it's just unacceptable. We're in 2019, and we have a game like this to this poor standard that's empty and vapid because they just want to get it out and make some cash. It's not how gaming should be made. It's an embarrassment.
Especially sort of coming out a month before a rather significant competitor comes out.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a review on that at some point.
We better do. I bought it.
But yeah, guys, thanks for listening to our my rant and your balanced view. But yeah, thanks for listening. I don't think there's anything else you want to cover.
Well, should we give it a final score?
Ooh! Yeah,
Ooh.
let's see how this pans out then. Right, do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I want to give 2 types of scores.
Oh God.
So
Are you gonna have like a schedule for this, like a goal?
I'll have a roadmap for my
roadmap.
scores. So previous to this game coming out and the idea of it and seeing some of obviously the downgrade stuff we haven't even talked about, but that's the usual thing happening in games.
Yeah.
The way the game looked and the premise it was being put forward, I think if that had delivered, I would have been around a 7 or an 8 because, it was a lot like Warframe, but it had that kind of extra bit. It was like, oh, what's it going to be? However, on launch and the experience within the hub, the menus, and the actual gameplay, not to mention the feeling that I'm actually doing a chore rather than having fun and being forced to do things that I want to do, this game for me gets a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
A 3 out of 10. It is not recommended. The only parts that give it points are the facial visuals, the like I said, the premise and the movement of the javelin, just the general, like the hub area would have been great, and it is kind of nice being there because things are happening around you. but it's just not done well enough. So, you know, there's 3 points there just because it's kind of like nice to look at. It's like a well knitted jumper from your auntie you're never going to wear. Right? It's that level of okay, but it's still not good. So that's my thing.
I would give it a 4. So slightly,
Just want to be better than me. Didn't you?
slightly more positive than him. But I mean, I was certain it would be a shit show from the offing. So the fact that I liked any of it at all and like had that first initial 3-4 hours of fun was, you know, a surprise to me. It needs so much more content. It needs to stop being as repetitive as it is, and it just needs to be cleaned up basically. And I think it's possible that they could do that, but I think by the time that they do, no one will be playing it.
No, and I think actually that's our lowest scored game on the channel.
Yeah, because even Bloodborne, we were sort of like at opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, you were saying 8 and 9, and I said like 1 or 0. So that still got more points than Anthem.
Overall.
I don't understand what they're doing, but I'm gonna not rant anymore and end the video there. So thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget we have videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So check back there for some more awesome content.
And if you have enjoyed what you've seen today, probably not, because it was a lot of moaning,
ranting,
please consider subscribing down below. And if you do click the subscribe, please ensure you tick the bell as well, because then you'll get notifications for every time we release a video.
Whoop whoop. Okay, guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.